3 years ago this week, I had my 7th and final surgery to close my abdomen after my C-section. So this was all while Sloan was still in the NICU prepping to come home. We were doing our trainings and stuff like that to learn how to change her trach. I had gone home about a week after my C-section. I had some complications, but nothing too major. I knew from my previous C-sections that I was allergic to the glue that they had used because my C-section started to do some funky things with Ashton, my firstborn. They had known not to use that. I don't know if they had, but when you look at my surgical report, it states that they used the glue and they stapled me this time. So I do believe they ended up using this glue. C-section scar popped open 2 days laying in bed like I had rolled the wrong way, and it just burst open 2 days after coming home from the hospital. Essentially, they just pack it. Oh no, the first time it started to like slowly burst open. It wasn't a huge burst at first. So they packed that site, and as soon as I got home, it went whoop, like stepping out of the car, just whoop, just completely popped open. So then I go back to the hospital and get a wound vac put in. Now, if you know anything about wound vacs, they are god awful. You constantly have to carry around a battery pack that essentially is keeping you from getting an infection. It's like a black sponge that they'll put inside the wound. They'll pack it, and then the wound vac itself will suction everything like 24/7, keep it clean, keep it exactly how it is. It's a wound vacuum. So I started tunneling. Tunneling is where like the wound starts going underneath of the skin, so it's not just separated on the outside, it's underneath towards. So I tunneled on both my right and my left side. So I started packing my insides basically. I had a wound care nurse. She would come 2-3 times a week to change my vac. At some point between her taking my wound vac off and a doctor taking my wound vac off, this is why, a lot of people ask me why I haven't sued, why I haven't gone like the legal route throughout this, because I can't prove who did it. And regardless, like after going through everything I went through, I'm past that point. Like I just want to heal. It just kept getting infected and infected and infected, so I ended up back in the hospital nonstop. I had multiple surgeries in between this. So at one point it was just my C-section scar, and then the right side was really bothering me, really hurting me, and it was a lot of tunneling. So they seen that on the ultrasound and an x-ray. I go in for a debridement, which is where they clean out the wound and like try to get it to heal faster. They cut me from my C-section scar to my right hip and left that open. So now I have an even bigger wound. I start getting an infection. There was about a walnut-sized area on my stomach that started to harden and dimple, and I knew something was not right. Like this, it just did not look right. He tells me it's just scar tissue. My stomach's starting to adhere to itself. Mind you, it's away from my opening, my wound. It's not even near my wound. It's up in my abdomen, about an inch away from the wound itself. I got the wrong doctor this day. He was in such a bad mood with me. He was, I guess, tired of dealing with me, tired of me coming back, and I got his point. I'm not totally and utterly disappointed in him, but I got his point. He sent me back home. He's like, you need to go find pain management. We're not doing any more scans on you. It's not infected. There's nothing we can do. You just have to wait it out and let it heal. At this point, I'm about 6 months into this journey, so I'm still walking around with an open wound. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of living this way. I'm tired of not having answers. I'm tired of them just being like, oh yeah, deal with it. So anyways, he's like, go home on pain management. We can't help you any further. There's nothing else we can do for you. I didn't like that answer. I didn't like the way mind you, I have pictures and video proof of all of this. My wounds looked disgusting. My nurse had just changed my wound vac, and it was like just all this slimy, just no way it's ever looked before. And he was like, it's not infected. So I went to a different hospital. I went to University of Maryland at this point, and they did a scan, and they saw a pocket. So essentially, I guess that material doesn't show up well on x-ray, so I understood why it wasn't found on a previous scan. But this time it started to abscess. It was abscessing. So there was a pocket under my skin. They didn't know there was a sponge in there at this point. So then I undergoed my now like 5th surgery, and they cut me open on the other hip. So now I have a basically tummy tuck sized wound from hip to hip, but they closed it. They closed it this time. The doctor comes out to my mom and hugs her and tells her that, hey, we found a sponge in your daughter. We don't know what it is at this point. And come to find out later on, it was like the wound vac dressing. It was so deep into my abdomen that it encapsulated itself in fat. So it had been in there for quite some time, probably around like the first or second week of my wound vac care. So again, we don't know whether the nurse left it in there and didn't count all the dressing, or the doctor did it when they had to abruptly take it off because it was painful for me. I had asked them to take it off and she just left the wound care dressing in there by accident. I see mistakes happen, but for that doctor not to listen to me for months on end, telling them like something's wrong, like my wound's not healing, there's got to be a reason for it, here comes that sponge.